each and every day right here on Morning JOX. So we are getting closer to another fantastic weekend of college basketball, and particularly in the SEC, some very exciting matchups are on the way. But we did have college basketball last night to get into. We've got more news coming from the college football ranks as well. So we've got another well rounded show today with a lot for us to dive into. And of course, we want to hear from you. We always love making you a part of the show. 205 834 9450. That'll get you on the courtesy GMC text line, which is where we like to hear from you. And you are welcome to send in your text or call in throughout the show, and we will get to you as we move along here. But we want to start off similarly to how we started yesterday's program. So we did have a team from the state here in action last night in the college basketball ranks. And of course, that would be the Auburn Tigers as they were back at home taking on Texas. And Texas is a bit of a tricky one this year because you just kind of look at, you go through and you look at some of the wins that they've gotten so far this year, and they've had some, especially in SEC play, they've had some impressive wins. They've also had some losses that you just kind of go back and scratch your head on a little bit. So it was definitely going to be an interesting opportunity for Auburn coming off the win over Florida and Gainesville. How are you going to respond to that now coming back home and being able to carry that momentum forward for you? So the good news, though, for Auburn is that they did ultimately find a way to pull out a victory last night, 88-82 over Texas. And you got to give credit to Texas because it really did feel like a large chunk of this game, it felt like Texas was just consistently up about 8 points. Like that was just kind of the gap that they were able to maintain, and it felt like every time that oh man, let me check the score. Let me look at the score again. Oh yeah, it's 8 points still. Because you're watching the game and you just feel like maybe the gap's closing a little bit, but it just kind of stayed right there. So Texas was up 8 at halftime, and then Auburn had to come back and outscore Texas by 14 in the second half. So Auburn was down by 14 at one point, and they stormed back to get a 6-point victory, and in large part because they just absolutely were unstoppable on offense in the second half of this game last night. So I thought this was a great stat. This was from Nathan King of Auburn Undercover. He put this out after the game last night. So in the second half of that game last night against Texas, Auburn scored on 85.7% of its possessions in the second half of that basketball game. So that the equivalent, I'll tell you what that is. There were only 4 times in the second half that Auburn took the basketball down to their side of the court and didn't walk away with points. 4 times in the entirety of the second half. It was just stupid. Auburn was absolutely dominant offensively in the second half. Really, really impressive shooting performance from them as a team. You shoot 51% for the night, 52% from three-point range. They go 11 of 21 there behind the three-point line. But Keyshawn Hall, he gives you 31. Kevin Overton gives you 25. Freeman gives you 10. So you had 3 guys in double digits there last night. But a lot of the damage there, you had Keyshawn Hall 3 of 6 from three-point range. Kevin Overton 5 of 7 from three-point range. And then you added in 29 of 39 from the free throw line to go with it. And only 3 turnovers for Auburn the entire game last night as well. So a really impressive win there for Auburn. And I mean, look, Texas played a good game. Swain had 30. He had himself a night last night. And Texas, I mean, again, for a large part of this game, they were just, a little bit better. And that hot shooting for Texas was kind of how it went in the first half. And then the second half, they cool off a little bit, still had a good night. But then Auburn just absolute menaces there offensively in the second half. So a very impressive win for them last night as they make sure not to lose that momentum that they got after the win in Gainesville.
Yeah, and I think for Auburn, this is the kind of win that you needed to see, because of the fact that one, it was a gritty victory, and there were moments in the game where Texas really could have taken over, and Auburn just kept chopping, and I think just collectively through the past 4 games in which Auburn has won, you're playing. It's not like you're playing against soft competition either. Like these are teams that you're not separated that much by, and I think that if you're Stephen Pearl from the roller coaster that you were having to start the season, for this stretch of games, and there's going to be a couple more, especially with Tennessee coming up this weekend. I think for Auburn, you're starting to hit your stride. And one thing I will say, I don't think they lived and died by the 3-point shot, but they obviously see that when they make a few, they're still within a puncher's chance of every ball game. So I think for Auburn, and again, this is a good Texas team. I think Texas left some plays out there. They left some change, but this the grit that Auburn played with is something I think that when when it comes to tournament time, or we start to get into SEC tournament, like those are the things that you can see, that you can hang on to and say, okay, look, okay, our defense, we had lapses at times, but for the most part, we shut just about everything down. And I think that the more that you can stack, as far as consistency, whether you win or lose, but as far as consistency on the defensive side, and again, they're athletic enough to get to the cup a lot at a high clip. And I think what we're seeing with Keyshawn Hall, he's really taking the reins of, I'm the best player on the floor. Tahad, we appreciate everything that you do, but this Auburn unit is going to run through however many shots that I put up and how many shots that I make. And if you can give me, anywhere between 10 to 15, I know he only had 7 last night, but the fact that his shot, he's still not afraid to shoot those shots. Yeah, they may not be falling, but he's not afraid to shoot it. I just think that right now, what Auburn has been able to do the past couple games against these quality competition, it gives you confidence of what they could potentially be if they put it all together.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. So they've shown that they can beat what we think is the best team in the conference, right, in Florida. So we'll see, kind of how it comes along. But it certainly seems like this is a team that's getting better as the season goes along, which is obviously what you want. And so, yeah, certainly a lot of reason for optimism there, and good to see that Stephen Pearl, looks like he's kind of coming to his own a little bit. The guys, starting to gel a little bit better. And yeah, the fact that they're doing all this while Tahad Pettiford is still just kind of a shell of the player that he was last year is remarkable. Because if you had told me coming into this year that, Tahad Pettiford was going to, I guess, play to the level that he has, I would have thought it was, potentially going to be a pretty rough year for Auburn basketball. So the fact that they've been able to weather that storm and continue to find ways to win, very, very impressive indeed. But Auburn now, their next game, they're 14-7 now overall, and their next game they're going to be on the road against Tennessee, and that'll be coming up this weekend. But if you look right now, Auburn, they're 14-7 overall, and they are 5-3 in SEC play. So that would be, I guess, technically tied for third right now, alongside Vanderbilt and Kentucky, as far as the conference standings go. But then just kind of looking at real quick, giving you a rundown of everything else that happened in the Southeastern Conference last night. Mississippi State, they cruised to an easy victory over LSU, 80-66, so no problem there for Chris Jans and his crew. Florida slaughters.
Oh my gosh.
South Carolina, 95-48.
That game was over quick.
Yeah, that's just a disgusting box score there when you go and look at that one. But yeah, Florida, they absolutely crush South Carolina. And Tennessee, they get a nice road win there in Georgia, 86-85 in overtime, because Georgia guy, I guess, forgot they were down by 3 points.
Man.
And said, they needed a 3 at the end to tie it, and he goes for a layup.
And leaves 0.6 seconds left.
Lose by 1 point because of that. So, an unfortunate loss there for Georgia, but a nice win for Rick Barnes and the Volunteers there on the road against Georgia. And before we move off of the college basketball ranks and get into a little bit of football news, I did want to give a shout-out to Coach AK and UAB as they went on the road last night and took on a UTSA team that admittedly isn't a good team, but a team that, in the past few years, they've given UAB, some problems at times. But UAB, they go on the road. They get a win 83-73 last night. They're over the Roadrunners, so certainly nice to see that. And Daniel Rivera, he had the leading scorer for the Blazers last night was 17. So nice win there for Coach Andy Kennedy and the UAB Blazers, as they were a winner. Auburn's a winner, and Alabama was a winner last night. So we're looking pretty good in the state for some college hoops. But we did tell you yesterday, going to college football, that Auburn, right, they had continued to bolster their roster a little bit. They got some good news on their defensive line for the 2026 season, with Dallas Walker being able to come back for another season. Well, now, yesterday, the tables turned a little bit because it was Alabama that was bolstering their defensive line, not through the transfer portal, but in a familiar fashion to what Auburn was doing yesterday. So we'll tell you about the latest returnee for the Crimson Tide and what it could mean for their defense. That's all coming up on a Thursday edition of Morning Jocks. 6:16, and welcome back into Morning Jocks. Conrad Van Order, Damian Mitchell here with you on your chilly Thursday morning, and we appreciate you making us a part of your day each and every day here on Jocks. So we will hand you off at 7 o'clock to McElroy and Kublick in the morning. They'll have you until 7, from 7 to 10, and then from 10 until 2, it'll be three-man front, and then the Paul Feinbaum show from 2 to 6. So plenty of stuff going on today, so no reason for you to change that dial. We'll be with you here all day long, each and every day on Jocks. So we told you before the break, if you remember yesterday, Dallas Walker IV, some big news there for the Auburn Tigers defensively, as he was given another year of eligibility, so he's coming back for the Auburn Tigers, and if nothing else, right, a good depth piece, somebody that's had experience in the program, has experience in the Southeastern Conference, coming back to be a rotational piece, and maybe even more than that, right, if he can continue to develop. Well, now Alabama, yesterday, they get some similar news, and it's also on the defensive line, and that Jamarian Latham, he is going to come back for a 7th season of college football. So you just go through and you look at his timeline of what happened with kind of his time in Tuscaloosa. So think about this. He was on the last national championship team for Alabama. He was a freshman in 2020 when Alabama beat Ohio State in the COVID year. So, I mean, he was playing with Mac Jones and Devontae Smith and all those guys, which I know for a lot of Alabama fans feels like a lifetime ago, because that was the last time you knew joy and happiness in the form of a championship. So he freshman in 2020, but he redshirted, so he didn't play. Then the next season in 21, he played in 4 games. Then he played in 12 games in 2022. Mm-hmm. So, of course, he continued to come along. And then 2023 and 2024, I mean, he played in essentially every game those years for Alabama, and really started to come along. And then this past season, right, it looked like he was, this was finally maybe his time to shine. That he unfortunately had a season-ending injury, missed Alabama's final 14 games of the season, so a very short-lived season for Jamarian Latham, and then he got a medical redshirt because of that injury this past year, so he will now be coming back for one final season there, and, of course, he'll figure into the rotation there with Yanze Pierre and some of those other guys on the defensive line, just like he did last year, but it'll definitely be interesting to see how certain guys that they brought in, like the cat from South Carolina and some others, just kind of what that rotation ultimately looks like. But yeah, right now, him and Yanze Pierre, kind of the experienced guys there that you'll see getting after the quarterback coming off the edge. So good news there for Alabama, obviously from, again, a depth perspective, but also a guy that has been very familiar with the program and kind of how you like to do things. And if he can stay healthy, a contributor nonetheless.
Yeah, it's essentially like having another coach on the field, another D-line coach, because he's seen it from the mountaintop. He's also seen it, trying to get your way back up there. But I think anytime that you can bring back experience, a guy, again, like Jamarian Latham, because when healthy, when he plays, he's impactful. Like, he's a guy that can really bolster up that defensive line, somebody that's played a ton of football there for Alabama. And I think that this is another key piece coming back for that defense, because now I think the best thing for Alabama, and I know there were some guys at the portal on the defensive side, but the experience and some of the leadership that you're having to return, you putting yourself in a good position, because there's still going to be question marks everywhere. And that's every team in college football. But I think for Alabama, with some of these guys that are returning, you don't necessarily have to – it's not giving new information to these guys. It's kind of, all right, this is how we fine tune. This is how we get better. Yeah. All these calls that you've been made for the past couple seasons, it should be muscle memory at this point. So you know what the expectation is for Kane Womack and the defense because of some of the guys that are coming back, and you add Jamarian Latham to that list. So I think defensively for Alabama, while you may have some question marks as far as some of the guys that haven't played as much, but the guys that you have returning have played a ton of football.
Do you know who he's older than?
Carson Beck.
Charles Bediako.
Oh. Talk about returning.
I just thought it was funny. They're a month apart. So Latham's birthday is in like a week, actually.
He'll be 24.
He'll be 24, and then Bediako will be 24 in March. So I just thought that was.
What's up, OG?
Just thought it was interesting. I was just curious.
That's wild. Like that's why we have 20.
Hey, no one's got a problem with Jamarian Latham. I'm kidding. I know it's different.
Don't do it.
It's different. I'm kidding.
He didn't go and be a Birmingham Stallion, then come back and play at Alabama.
No, but I guess technically he could have.
Yeah, absolutely. If they got eligibility to give, I'll take it.
I mean, technically, I did see. Yeah, so I saw where Kalen DeBoer, he was at the Senior Bowl yesterday, and he kind of talked to the media a little bit there, and he was actually asked about the Bediako. And, of course, he did. I'm not the person to answer that. Playing it
Playing
safe,
the
but
game.
yeah, that's just always interesting. It was like, yeah, somebody's, with the Charles Bediako thing, like, is that something that you think will come to college football? I hope not, but
it's like, Bryce Young still has a year of eligibility. Hey, if it doesn't work in Carolina, come on back.
Yeah,
dog. Come on back.
Yeah,
get you another Heisman.
Yeah, so it's
Tua still has a year of eligibility, doesn't he?
No, we're not doing that.
I'm just saying, like when you look at some of these guys,
he does have a year left. Yes. I don't.
And he hurt his hip. He hurt his hip on the way out, so he probably could apply for a medical red shirt and have 2 extra years.
Yeah, the problem is he's hurt his brain on the time since then, so it's kind of unfortunate that.
God almighty.
I mean, I'm just saying.
God almighty.
Because I've had a bunch of people. Oh, well, would you want Tua to come back? And I'm like, no. Like, I love the guy, but I genuinely am concerned for his.
This is health related.
His health for the remainder of his life. So, I mean, genuinely, like, just hang it up.
But in the event,
if it did happen, though, yes, that would be awesome.
If there is one player, if you could just only bring back one player that's either in the NFL, UFL, to come back and play one more time at Alabama in 2025.
Well, it would be him for a selfish perspective, but in terms of what would probably help the team the best, I would just bring Derrick Henry back, and then they would go a national championship.
Yeah,
but
that is fair.
Just give it to him 500 times.
Yeah,
but,
like who cares what offensive line you got in front of him? Like,
exactly.
Just give him the ball.
Just give him the ball. But maybe one day. I don't think that's gonna happen though. But anyways, I just thought it was interesting that Kalen DeBoer was asked about that yesterday. But he was also asked about the decision to part ways with Chris Kapilovic, the offensive line coach, and basically just telling the media, hey, it came down to production at that spot. We know that's somewhere that a position that we have to be better at. We have to get more from in 2026, and also recognizing that there are a lot of young guys there that need to be developed, and they seem to be optimistic about the production they can get from that group on the offensive line, but obviously aware that they've got some guys that don't have a ton of experience and they're going into the unknown. So that was Kalen DeBoer again on Chris Kapilovic and the reason that they split and decided to go and hire Adrian Clem as the new offensive line coach, saying it's just about production and really the lack thereof from the offensive line. He talked a little bit about getting Austin Mack and Keelan Russell back and how big of a deal that was in today's day and age to be able to go and bring them back, and had a lot of nice things to say about both of the quarterbacks and their potential moving forward. So certainly nice to hear those things, and cool to see him down there with Tim Keenan having a good time, and Tim Keenan and Coach DeBoer obviously have a special connection, and I think we all remember was it the Georgia game? Whatever game it was, we had Tim Keenan going up to Kalen DeBoer beforehand and kind of just like hyping him up over there and all that stuff. I think that's when people started to realize, like, oh, they kind of got a cool relationship. So it was nice seeing him and Keenan down at the Senior Bowl yesterday, cutting up and having a good time there. So that's what's going on with the Alabama Crimson Tide. A little bit on the Auburn front. So again, yesterday you got the Dallas Walker news, and so that's certainly nice and very welcoming there to add more depth to the defensive line for the Auburn Tigers. But I did think it was interesting because I did see an interview that Alex Golish did yesterday, and I saw some kind of tidbits of it going around on social media. And I thought it was very interesting because, I guess this isn't a surprise, and this is probably how a lot of people are doing things. But I did think it was interesting that one of the things he was talked about at the Senior Bowl as well was, basically Auburn, like if they want, they can keep adding players all throughout the offseason. So just because where you sit right now, you could say the roster is probably pretty close to being finalized, but let's say they go into spring ball and, a wide receiver goes down, or, maybe there's a guy at linebacker that, it's just not really working there. Maybe we want to try him at tight end, but now we need a linebacker. And kind of just talking about how that philosophy of Auburn having the capability of going back in and, if necessary, addressing certain positions throughout the rest of the offseason. So, again, just as we, you don't really hear, I guess we normally think like everyone's trying to be final. Like right now, this is my roster. I want to know what I have moving forward into the season. And while you have most of that taken care of, is interesting that, they're open to it. And I guess you kind of have to be at this point. And we certainly know with how many people go in the portal, there's plenty of, not can't miss portal guys, but,
some people still ain't got a home.
There's warm bodies in there if you need some.
And had you heard, I've been seeing some reports the past couple of days. Had you seen that Horatio Fields hasn't, that he was released of his transfer from Missouri?
Yes, I did see that. And he is going to, did I see that he was like visiting Ole Miss or something like that?
Really?
Yes. Yeah, according to Matt Zenitz from CBS Sports, Ole Miss is expected to land former Auburn and Wake Forest receiver Horatio Fields.
Okay. Listen, now I will give Hugh Freeze a lot of credit. He spoke extremely highly of him, especially coming into the season. His impact was.
He was like the leader, right?
Yeah,
that he said of the receiver room.
Yeah. So listen to me. He knows Deuce. He knows Deuce Knight. If Trinidad Chambliss cannot play, I think that's an addition in the receiver room. Listen, our offense is, we don't have a quote unquote number one guy. We just have a bunch of dudes that we can just throw the ball to, and they go out there and make plays. And if he feels as though he can fit well in our system, and for all the publicity that my team is getting for the past couple of days, I think he would be a great addition. He'll calm a little bit of the storms that coming from Columbia, South Carolina, but not Columbia. That's South Carolina, but out there at Clemson, and I would appreciate Horatio Fields. Listen, he's a depth piece. He's a guy that's played a lot of ball. Trinidad just needs somebody to throw it to, or Deuce. And he's seen Deuce with his own eyes, so I can understand why he would want to go to Ole Miss.
I will say I thought it was interesting that, again, who knows? Maybe they just made him a stupid offer or something, but when Caden Lee went in the portal, I guess he had made a statement that essentially he was going in the portal because if Trinidad Chambliss wasn't coming back to Ole Miss, he wanted the option to leave. Okay, but then he went to Missouri.
Yeah.
But
Austin Simmons.
But we all But we all think that
Trinidad's coming back.
He's going to be allowed to play. I just thought that was interesting because he says that if Trinidad can come, and I don't know, maybe, Missouri just came in and offered him a bunch of money and it was, I can't turn this down. I just thought that was interesting because everybody seems to believe, and I believe that Trinidad is going to ultimately be allowed to play. I just thought it was interesting that I would think Caden Lee would probably
pump the brakes a little bit.
Know that. And decide to wait it out a little. That just kind of surprised me a little bit.
I'm with you. I'm with you. And especially for somebody that has played in this system as long as he has, I would kind of look at it as whether he comes back or not, I am a focal point of how this offense operates.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do find it interesting too because maybe you just throw your name into the portal just to see.
Well, yeah, because then you can always go back to Ole Miss and you're fine.
Exactly. Or maybe Pete told him,
And off the top of my head, he'll be receiver one for
more than likely
Missouri. So I have to imagine that they'd still be interested in you in a month.
Right.
Maybe not, but I feel like they probably would be.
Yeah, because when you look at the receivers that are in the portal, it's out of the 4,000, it's about 1,000 of them that are receivers, and it's kind of like, hey man, I don't think you're going to get lost in the shuffle as far as finding a landing spot because the tape speaks for itself, man. Like you've played a ton of football and you got great numbers to back it up. But I'm kind of with you too. It's I don't want to. Again, it's not Trinidad's fault. It's not really his fault. It's just this is the path that we have to take, and it just takes a little bit long. But I don't know. Ole Miss has gotten some ever since the loss in the college football playoff and the loss of our former head coach. It's just kind of been it's a lot of fires that you got to put out. So
Well, yeah, you stabbed Dabo in the back.
Well, no, we didn't. No, we didn't. We straight up told him. We straight up said.
You're right.
Whatever
you stabbed
number,
him in the face. My bad.
Yeah, we punched him right in the mouth and said, "We gonna get him. This is how much it's gonna take. We'll take him. We don't care if you tell him, because everybody's doing it. We don't care. Stop being a snitch. How about that? Like, how about you stop telling? Stop tattling. That's the issue. That's the problem that we're having, because Ole Miss ain't doing nothing.
I like it. Dabo's a snitch. That's the real problem. It's not. No, Ole Miss is fine. It's the fact that Dabo had to go and
doing
tell
all
people.
this telling.
Hey, that's how it was back in the old day, right? It was everyone knew what was going on. It's just don't.
Now we going straight to. We're sorry that he had an 8 o'clock class.
Air out the dirty laundry.
It ain't our fault. He took an 8 o'clock class. This is the only time we had to reach out.
I was about to say, you're right. It really is Clemson's fault. They should have easily had him in 10 a.m. classes, because he would have been asleep.
Exactly.
And then maybe
him showing up enrolled in class was his fault. But we'll take him though. We got him. He's at Ole Miss, so that's all that matters.
I'm sure he will have a wonderful time there in Oxford, Mississippi. So that's a lot of what's going on in the college football world. But as we know, with the transfer portal and all that, the college football conversation never truly stops. And that's what we're right here for on JOX. But a lot of you chiming in with your thoughts as well, 205-834-9450 on the Courtesy GMC text line, as well as the phone line. So we'll continue this college football conversation here on a chilly Thursday. You're listening to Morning JOX. Well, welcome back into Morning Jocks here on your Thursday. Conrad and Damian with you until 7 o'clock when we'll hand you off to the fine folks of McElroy and Kublick in the morning, including one Damian Mitchell. But we appreciate you making us a part of your morning each and every day right here on JOX, as we are about to get to your phone calls, your text messages at 205-834-9450 on the Courtesy GMC text line. But quickly, we do want to remind you that we are now 1 week away, exactly 1 week away, from the biggest basketball game of the year here in Birmingham, as the UAB Blazers will be hosting Memphis at Bartow Arena 1 week from today, next Thursday, February the 5th, and you can go get your tickets right now at uabsports.com. The first 5,000 fans are going to get a free gold rally towel, and it's a gold out, so they want you to be sure to be geared up in your gold and pack out Bartow Arena. So again, that's next Thursday, 1 week from today, February the 5th, 8 o'clock tip, UAB versus Memphis. Go get your tickets online right now at uabsports.com. So we'll start off here with some of your reaction. We'll go to Greg. Greg's been patiently waiting by in Russellville on the phone lines. He wants to talk about players coming back for, I'm assuming, Alabama and Auburn. Greg, how are we doing this morning?
I'm doing good. Good morning, man. I just wanted I was going to make a comment, then I had a couple of questions, and then I'll hang up and let y'all talk.
All right.
The first comment is I think Derrick Henry, since he didn't play very long, he's good for another 3 years at least, isn't he?
Yeah, I think that sounds fair. Yeah.
But anyway, my first question was about Finley. How do they? What's the reasoning? I guess you'd say is he's getting all of these. What is it? 8 years now?
Are you talking about TJ Finley?
Yes. I don't understand how they can come up with that many years he's eligible.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I guess you go back and you look at, he's, believe it or not, it's the same thing as like the Jamarian Latham case in the sense that they're the same age. I mean, he was part of the 2020 recruiting class, and so you get hurt a year, you have a redshirt year, and there you go. There's your 7 years.
Okay. Well, I didn't know he'd been hurt. I thought he'd been playing every year.
I don't know. Maybe he's just so bad that you thought he was hurt or something. But yeah, it's remarkable that he's still out there.
Any team that keeps getting him, I guess they think they're going to resurrect something that ain't never been there.
I was about to say, everybody has that one person they always thought they could save, but they just couldn't do it,
Hey, my other question is, I've kind of been out of the loop a little bit in the last week or so, too.
Mm-hmm.
Has Alabama said anything about having a spring game?
I don't know if they've announced. That's actually a very good question. I'm trying to remember if they've announced the exact date. But I think they haven't announced the exact date yet. But the belief is that it'll be a similar style to what you've got in the last couple years, where it's not it's not the traditional A-Day game that you're used to seeing in the past, where you have the actual full-on scrimmage, where it's more of a live practice type of a setting for the fans.
Well, it's not, I'm a couple hours away, so I don't really see a whole lot into that. But I like to come when they do a regular game, make a day out of it. But coming for a few minutes of practice for a little while just don't really add up, really. So
yeah, no, it's certainly not. It's certainly not the same. But it was on April 12th last year, so I would assume it would be on a very similar date this year.
Hopefully they'll go back to having it like they used to since they shut down that extra transfer portal. Yeah, that's a good point, Greg. We appreciate you calling in, Greg. We got to get to the text line here a little bit, but yeah, I think that I like the way the old spring games were. I mean, it's not the most riveting thing in the world, but like you want to see them, like in a live setting,
exactly,
where we can all get super excited about players that are not going to contribute in the fall. And
like Ajayi Hall. He was spring game All-American.
He was, man. He was one of the best I've ever seen in a spring game.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the best.
Well, I mean, he made some plays in a Crimson Tide uniform. I think.
I'm trying to see. Let's see. Somebody just texted this in at the Courtesy GMC text line. 205-834-9450. Okay, so I don't think this is replacing the spring game, but I guess it's going on around it. I forgot that Morgan Wallen's playing at Bryant-Denny.
Oh, yeah.
So that's on April 18th that he will be playing. He will be playing on the field there at Bryant-Denny.
You going?
No.
Oh, my fault.
I just not a Morgan Wallen fan.
Interesting.
Well, I don't like country music, so that probably eliminates
So why don't
Morgan
you like
Wallen
Florida
from the
Georgia Line,
playlist. Because I just think they're bad.
Oh,
But
okay.
it's also country music.
It's not. Well, people tell me it's not country.
Well, it's something else, but we can't say that on the radio.
Haters in the building.
But also, I mean, there will be a lot of people that go and have a wonderful time, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
I can only imagine that a Morgan Wallen concert at Bryant-Denny is probably like $500 to get tickets to.
Yeah, I went to.
It's probably a lot of money.
I've been twice to Vaught Hemingway to see him, and
I'm sure it was great.
yeah, it was phenomenal.
I'm sure he's a highly entertaining performer. Not my thing.
I got you. Hey, listen. No, I was just wondering.
I'll be more of a. I'm more likely to. You might see me at Kid Cudi at the Coca-Cola Amphitheater in May. I think that might be the concert that you're more likely to see me at.
As soon as I saw the announcement, I was like, yeah, I know where Conrad's gonna be.
Yeah, I think you might.
You'll be in there.
Yeah, well, it's funny because I saw it on social. I saw a bunch of people. Oh, is this gonna be kid friendly? I'm like, no. It's like I think he has. My son loves his movie from the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. I don't think he's playing that one. I'm be honest. I don't think that was gonna be played. I think you're gonna hear some other music that's a little different than what you're expecting. But I don't think you're getting the Sonic song. Sorry.
No, maybe a snippet, but it ain't. That's not what we came here for.
No. So that was I got a kick out of that. But hey, some people, you learn the hard way.
Yeah, it's like Sabrina Carpenter. Just like everybody was having such.
I
a
can
ruckus.
imagine there's probably a number of parents that didn't realize what that.
Yeah.
They were taking their children.
Yeah,
to.
this ain't Disney Channel no more. She
No.
grown.
No.
She grown.
Well, it's like, sometimes I'll be listening, my wife loves like Taylor Swift and then she'll drop the F word. I'm just like, oh man, I forgot that. Like, oh
She's
yeah,
doing this
I
now.
forget that you're not making kids music anymore. It's a little different now. Little bit different now, but a lot of you chiming in on the courtesy GMC text line still 205-834-9450. Continue to get your thoughts in. Jamarian Latham returning for Alabama. Auburn getting a big win over Texas last night in SEC hoops. The future of college athletics, Charles Bediako. A lot of things still going on. We'd love to hear from you. We'll continue to get your reaction, read your text next here on Morning JOX. I'm gonna guess this is Morgan Wallen.
Yes, sir. That'd be correct. I mean, listen.
I mean, to each their. No, I understand why people like his music. I just don't.
I got you.
But I understand why people like his. I mean, that's better.
So you don't like country music at all? Like, is it? Like, are there a few country songs that you kind of like?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Like older country songs.
Ah, I got you.
Yeah,
I got you.
But like, I mean, I think that's a lot better than like Luke Bryan. Like, I think Luke Bryan's really bad. I'd much rather listen to that than
he's seasonal
stuff
for me.
like that.
He's seasonal for me.
But yeah, it's just not really my thing.
Big Garth Brooks guy.
I would much rather listen to Garth Brooks than Morgan Wallen. Yes.
Okay. I think that's fair.
Yeah, some Alan Jackson, like that's the kind of country music I would rather.
Yeah, I got you
personally.
Old school.
Yeah,
old soul.
that's what I grew up listening to.
Right, way down yonder in the Chattahoochee.
Yeah. Yeah, and now I listen to music that makes my mom sad. But we like what we like. It is what it is. So we're here for a few more minutes on the show. Conrad and Damian here with you on Morning Jocks. And we are going to get to your text messages now at 205-834-9450 on the Courtesy GMC text line because we appreciate you hanging on there. Someone says Conway Conrad.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
I'll be honest, never a huge Conway Twitty guy. But I mean, again, I understand the appeal. It just that maybe not quite that old for me.
I got you. I got you.
But
do you own a pair of cowboy boots?
I do own a pair of cowboy boots, but the only reason that I do is because it was actually very nice. One of my very good friends, when he got married, he wanted us all to wear cowboy boots with our tuxedos. So our groomsman gift or whatever is he bought everybody a pair of cowboy boots.
That's nice. That's nice.
I've worn them for the wedding, and that's
hadn't worn them since.
No.
Do you have a cowboy hat?
No.
Gotcha.
I've got the closest thing I have to a cowboy hat is my Nick Saban Alabama straw.
Ah, yeah.
That would be what I would wear, not a
10-4.
Not a cowboy hat. But it's just
not your thing.
Can you see me? Can you picture me wearing blue jeans and cowboy boots?
Not at all.
No.
Not at all.
No. Not my thing. But again, teach their own. No, I have no problem with it. That's not quite me. Matt chimes in on the text line, though. He says, Damian, I saw Morgan Wallen twice at Ole Miss, too. Kind of turned me into an Ole Miss appreciator. I can't say I'm a fan of Ole Miss, Roll Tide, but their campus is amazing. I know why you became a fan of them.
Yeah.
Of the school.
Yeah, absolutely. It's nice. It's a nice spot.
I can imagine. I'm sure
it's nice.
I'm sure that would be a fun place to go to a Morgan Wallen concert. I'm sure that they get into it there.
They do.
They
do.
Absolutely.
They have a good time.
Absolutely. Drake texting in. He says, love how my Florida Gators responded after the loss to Auburn. Yeah, they took out that frustration on the Gamecocks.
Yeah.
Beat them by about 46. If I'm doing that math correctly in my head. Pretty good shellacking there last night. This text rolls in. It says, Dabo Swinney needs to man up and stop whining. Isn't there a coach's code where you don't rat others out? Everyone tampers. Yeah, but you don't tamper with Damian or with Dabo.
Thank you.
Don't do that.
Oh, they're whining.
Don't do that.
I thought you were just little old Clemson. I thought you didn't care if you lost any players.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Stick to the code.
Eric from Sneed chimes in. He says, George Strait is the GOAT of country music. I'm not going to argue against that.
Listen, you got it. I'm not going to disagree.
Not going to disagree with George. Let's see. Ken says, Damian, are you going to give us the inside scoop on LSU this season now that Ty Hatcher is there?
No, I actually hate LSU because of the fact that.
But you keep your friends close and your enemies closser, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. So they're within close proximity when I got to cut them. So yeah. Listen, I love the fact that Ty is there. Hope he grows, but I choose not to support anything LSU for now.
For now. Oh, okay. So, but we're leaving the door open for.
Oh, it's my apologies.
Future.
I misspoke. You never know what the future may bring, may hold, but I'm not really particularly fond of the outlook of what LSU is going to be building up under Lane Kiffin.
Okay.
See us in the college football. See us in the college football playoff. Well,
y'all were there and LSU wasn't, and it's been a while since they've been in there.
Exactly.
So. Let's see. This text rolls in. It says, Conrad, don't lie. I know you were rocking the mullet and listening to Billy Ray Cyrus and Achy Breaky Heart. Well,
how old is he?
Only problem with that is that I was -4 when that song came out. It's the only problem.
It was already a classic when you were coming up.
Unfortunately, and I know this is going to break some people's hearts, like when I was a kid, Billy Ray Cyrus was Hannah Montana's dad.
There we go.
Like that was when I was a small child, and
Same.
I was like, Billy Ray Cyrus. Oh yeah, it's just sad because you have that. So you have the people that Achy Breaky Heart, yeah. Okay, and I mean obviously we know the song, but we weren't alive when the song initially came out. But you got that. Then people our age, he's Hannah Montana's dad, and then for like the generation below us, he's Old Town Road. So it's like we got progressively like
he's rebranded. He stuck with the times.
He's stayed relevant.
He did.
Nonetheless, he has stayed relevant.
Shout out to Billy Ray.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Billy Ray Cyrus. Steven chimes in. He says Hank Jr. is the only country I'll listen to.
Nope.
Look, I have some friends that's.
Yeah.
Hey, cold beer and some Hank Jr. You're good to go. That's all you need. So yeah, no, I know a lot of people feel that way. Somebody says you forgot to mention Alabama's new basketball commitment. That would be Caden Samuels, a small forward. He's a top 25 recruit in the upcoming class. So a big get there for Nate Oates and the Crimson Tide. But appreciate y'all joining us. We're back tomorrow at 6 a.m. Mac and Cube is up next.